Right, welcome to Cupcakes with Cal in Mooloolaba Vale. We have Lionel Sanders. Lionel, thanks for letting me into your hotel room.
Hey, thanks for coming in. I feel like I finally made it. It's a true honor to be on the Cupcake Show.
You started off racing Ironman in 2010 with Ironman Louisville. That was your first little foray into triathlon.
Yeah.
What was behind all that?
To be honest with you, I sort of did it as kind of a rehabilitative sort of thing. I was abusing drugs and alcohol, and it got me, I entered in the race, and it sort of helped me to change myself, change my life, and I finished the race. I felt like, I could do anything, and that's sort of how the whole thing was born.
6 years on now, you're lining up at your second 70.3 World Champs? Third?
Second. That was 2014 was the first time.
What drives you now with training and racing?
My fiance Erin drives me pretty much everywhere, actually. It's nice to kind of have my own personal chauffeur.
Do you have a full driver's license?
Actually, I did. I was forced to get it. I don't know why, but I was going to let it expire, but eventually I went and got it. But it doesn't matter. I have Erin to drive me everywhere.
Speaking of Erin, she actually filmed you. You do a lot of indoor training in Ontario because of the wicked winters. There's one particular clip where you're putting yourself through your paces and you're crying on the turbo, right?
Yeah, I was crying, and we tried to hash it. I was like kind of being a tough guy and everything, but the fact of the matter is, Erin was making an omelet in the kitchen, and she was cutting a bunch of onions, and so it just, the juices were flowing into the training room, and that's what caused it. And when I start to cry, I grunt a little bit too. So
air conditioners these days is a lot better, so you're getting like a lot of fresh air flowing through those apartments.
It's just actually the hood fan of the stove just enters into the training room, and that's what happened.
So Erin makes a good omelette.
Best omelet around.
Okay. Oh, that was so beautiful. All right, let's talk about Muskoka 2013 70.3, where you had a big win against Andreas Raelert, your first pro race as well. Walk me through that race a little bit.
It was very terrifying the night before. I remember my dad asked me, "Are you going to win this thing?" And I said, "Nothing," because I was like speechless. I've only been speechless in my life twice, and the other time was when on Christmas morning I woke up and I thought there was like a little space bar, and I was thinking like I was going to get a PS2 or something like that, and there was just a little plug for to plug stuff in and stuff, and I'm like, what the heck is this? I literally was speechless. And then a few minutes later, there was a brand new computer in the closet or whatever. But this time I was also speechless. And but anyways, the race, I had a decent swim for myself. I think I was only like 3.5 minutes back, and on the bike I just focused on my power and held steady power. And I actually came off the bike in second place, and then I entered the lead, I think at like 2 or 3 kilometers, and hung on to win.
You must have walked away from that race with a lot of confidence, like maybe you can mix it with the big boys here.
In all honesty, I probably walked away with too much confidence, because then I went to my next race, which was in St. George in 2014, and I finished 18th, over 10 minutes behind Jan Frodeno, and I sort of got a sense of what the very best 70.3 racers in the world are doing.
All right, let's talk a little bit about indoor training. You pretty much do most of your training indoors, but a lot of people don't know the reason you're doing that is because you've got quite sensitive skin.
That's completely true. I try not to get out in the sun just because it's hot. First of all, it kind of hurts, and I just burn very, very easily. So I prefer to stay indoors. I try and cover it up as if I'm trying to do more quality training and that sort of thing, but the reality is it's too intense.
In some of the emails we exchanged back and forward, you described it, the rash that you get, you kind of look like the polka dot jersey from the Tour de France.
That's correct. A piece of it is that as well. I just don't want to go out in public looking like that, so you just have to, and it's make do with what you have, really.
Which obviously leads into Erin driving you to swim training, because it's quite sensitive, and just having the seatbelt across you causes you quite a bit of discomfort.
Totally. And we have the windows tinted right up, all that sort of stuff, just to combat any time the sun gets to me.
Onions. All right, let's talk a little bit about